since 2020, we've had 5 different teams in 5 years represent the West in the NBA Finals. And after acquiring 6-time All-Star DeMar DeRozan this summer, the Kings, they're loading up to try to make it 6, or at least get their first playoff series win since 2004. And while at our New York studios for ESPN, DeRozan, he was asked about his bold prediction for the season. This is what he said.
My boldest NBA take for the season? Kings Western Conference Finals.
Why are DeMar and I wearing like the same shirt, except his is Louis Vuitton? And
I was going to ask you that.
Well, NBA champ Kendrick Perkins, senior writer Zach Lowe joining us now. Zach, he's saying the Kings can win not 1, not 2, but, I mean, at least 2. Do you think that's too bold of a take for DeMar there?
Alas, I'm going to say Kings, start slowly. Just make the playoffs and win 1 playoff series. I do think there's a window for someone outside the Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Denver, Dallas group to crash the conference finals. All those teams with Oklahoma City have little vulnerabilities that may pop up at the wrong time. Someone is going to surprise us. I just don't think it's going to be the Kings. Kings are good. Good team, no problem with that. I don't think they're going to make the conference finals. Sorry, DeMar.
Oh, I appreciate, riding for your squad, though. But if you're going to go, you're asked for a bold take, and you say the conference finals. Shouldn't you just say all the way we're gonna make it to the finals? What's the one thing that's stopping you there? But since we're already talking about bold takes, Perk, do you got any for the upcoming season? What's your bold take here?
Yeah, I do. And since I'm the governor of New York, and I know Tracy Morgan is watching right now, damn it. Look, this is not an individual sport. It's a team sport. My bold take is that the New York Knicks are going to have the best record, not just in the Eastern Conference, in the entire NBA in the regular season. They're going to have the best record in the league. I mean, when you think about what Big Body Brunson did last year, best player in the Eastern Conference, he's going to come back on a different mission. Acquiring Mikal Bridges, those boys and with Hart and Dante, they're going to be ready to play. And Julius Randle also, he's going to come back with it on his mind. I think he's going to embrace his role. I think right now they got a different type of energy, a different type of family-type vibe there, and they're going to be excited to play night in and night out.
That's bold.
Hey, Perk, you had me. I was sliding up to the edge of my seat, and you said the New York Knicks. I thought you were about to say win an NBA title. Like, that's a bold take.
That would be really bold.
But I like that one. I actually think you got a shot to be right with that one. I think the Knicks are going to have one of those regular seasons if they stay healthy, where they try to set the tone and win as many games as they can, which will put them in a class with the Celtics possibly.
Zach, are you going to be a senator for New York? Are you hopping on this as well?
Well, there might be some political openings around New York pretty soon, but besides that, I'm going to stand away from this one. The Celtics won the East. By 14 games last year. So I'm not crowning anybody but Boston. I know KP is hurt to start the season. That's Kristaps Porzingis, not Kendrick Perkins.
Okay.
I don't think the Knicks. That's a bold take. It's bold. That's a bold take. It's a good bold take.
It's good. It is bold. Legs, what is your bold take? Is it bolder than our KP?
Well, I'm taking advantage of the title of this segment, because bold is really just a euphemism for irrational, because I don't necessarily believe what I'm about to say, all right? But I'm going to go with the San Antonio Spurs making the play-in. Now, anybody that thinks that might not be a bold take, do you know how many more games the San Antonio Spurs would have to win based on last year's standings in the West? 24 more wins, and they only won 22 last year, so you got to more than double your win total to get into that area. But look, obviously a lot of this has to do with the development of Victor Wembanyama and the way he gets out of the gate. It took him about half a season last year before he found that footing that was wowing us every night. If he does that from the beginning, with the addition of a Chris Paul table setter, Stephon Castle, Harrison Barnes, they've added some pieces, some vets too, that can help them navigate the season a little bit better. I think San Antonio, while maybe not getting that far, are going to be dramatically improved.
I think I would say this is a warm take, Zach. I'm not going to go quite hot. I think that's warm. What do you think of what Legs is throwing down here?
I've been saying this since July, when they got Chris Paul and they got Harrison Barnes by stealing him in that DeMar DeRozan trade. I think this is totally in play, and he mentioned the 20-whatever win gap. Well, first part of last season, Victor Wembanyama was playing power forward next to centers who couldn't shoot. Once you scrap that, he took off. You add some veterans, and you add some maybe if they're in contention, they're not going to kind of tank toward the end of the season like they might have last season. I think this is totally in play, mostly, though, because Victor Wembanyama is so freaking good right now that it's hard to be a bad team if he's on your team and he's healthy. I think this is in play. Bold. It's boldish.
Boldish. Can you do better? Can you do better, Zach? What's your bold take?
This is also just bold to Jayson. I think people will think it sounds bold. It isn't that bold. I think Memphis is going back into the top 4 of the Western Conference. People have totally forgotten about them. They've written in pen top 4 seeds: Oklahoma City, Denver, Minnesota, Dallas. I think OKC is totally fine. They're young, they're healthy, they're deep. They might run away with the number 1 seed. I think Memphis is crashing that party again. And if you told me Memphis finished the season as the 2 seed, I wouldn't even be surprised by that, because that's what they were the last 2 years when they had their real team together. I think Memphis is roaring back up the standings.
Yeah, and Ja Morant is there wanting to prove that he is every player that we saw the last time we saw him play a full season. Since we're already talking about the West, again, I think we need to retitle this. This is the boldish takes for the season. How about this? Anthony Edwards makes first-team All-NBA. I wanted to go all the way. I wanted to be able to say that I believe that Minnesota is going to win the West this year. I'm not quite there because there's some questions I have for the team. There are no questions I have, Perk, for Anthony Edwards. I believe that that man is the future of the NBA right now, and he is going to be first-team All-NBA. What do you think?
You know what? I'm with you on that, Malika, but that wasn't a bold take. Like, that was you going to the swimming pool and just putting your foot in the water, right? You ain't jump all the way in. I need you to jump off the porch. You know what I'm saying?
All right, next time I'm diving in.
Anthony Edwards was going to get the MVP.
Yeah, that's where I thought she was going. I heard Anthony Edwards come out of her mouth. I thought she was going to go there.
When it comes, though, to individual success, Tatum still has some goals left. Did you see this? He recently told Sports Illustrated not about his rapping, but about winning MVP next season. He said, quote, "Winning a championship is most important, playing the right way, but it's been done. It's possible. You can play the right way, you can dominate the game, you can strive for a championship and be an MVP of the league. So you don't have to sacrifice one for the other. You can do both." Perk, it's been a while since we had a word of the day from you. So what's your word for Tatum wanting to win MVP?
Oh, it's simple. Selfish. He's selfish, and it's a great way of saying it. I'm not being negative right now, but look, seeking or concentrating on one's own advantage, pleasure, or well-being without regard for others. Here's the thing. I get that basketball is a team sport, right? And I get championships that help define a lot of guys' legacy. Hell, I'm still called the NBA champion to this day. But if a guy wants to hit and make and accomplish individual accolades, I'm all for it, right? KG and I in 2009, 2010, we actually got into a heated battle, which almost cost us our relationship after we won the championship, because KG felt like I was playing to try to make the All-Star team. And I did have my own personal agenda. And Ticket, the big fella, he had to go and think about it. He like, you know what? He came to me a few days later. He said, "Perk, I should want you to make the All-Star team. You should want that for yourself." So I have no problem with a player being somewhat selfish and wanting to accomplish things on an individual basis.
I completely agree. Look, I actually think he worded that perfectly in every way. Because you got to remember, he got asked a question with the letters MVP in it. So that's when he addressed it, and he put everything first that needed to be first.
Yep.
Win a championship, most important. Playing the right way, most important. All he's saying is, if you do those things, success will follow, and that means you're going to be in the discussion, or you're going to be included, and potentially even win an MVP in the same year that you do win a title, which is very, very rare and very, very difficult to do historically in the NBA. So I actually thought the way he worded it was perfect. I just think he's going to run into some other issues in trying to actually get an MVP and put that trophy on his mantle. I think he's got great chance of winning more championships. The MVP, though, has gotten murkier for him because of the ascension of younger stars, because of how good his team is now, which actually works against him, ironically. So that's going to be harder for him to accomplish, but I have no problem with the way he worded that and the way he handled that.
To your point, we haven't seen a player win an MVP and a title in the same season since Steph Curry back in 2014-15. You gave us a little switcheroo there, Perk. You said selfish, but then explained why players, they almost need to have that ounce of selfishness in order to be able to get the best out of themselves. Jayson Tatum has told me he believes that he is the best player on the planet, and that's what he feels like he needs to have a mindset of as he walks in between those four lines every night. But to Tim's point, Zach, do you think that Jayson Tatum could actually win MVP this season?
I think he could. I also think it's unlikely. Look, I mean, best player on best team is the formula for him. And that's what he was last year on a 64-win team that lapped the field, and he finished sixth in MVP voting. He did not even come close to winning it because his production just isn't on par with these supernova guys, Jokic, Luka, Embiid, Giannis, on and on. Part of that is because he does have better teammates than those guys. But even on an efficiency basis, he wasn't quite in their universe. I don't think it's fair to penalize Jayson Tatum because the Celtics are awesome and well built. I don't like that argument against him because his teammates are good. He can't be the MVP. But I do think it's going to have to take a perfect storm of Celtics lap the field again. His production comes up 5%, so it's at least in the ballpark of those other guys and gets more efficient. It's not just raw numbers, it's efficiency too. And probably a couple of those guys are either going to have to be on disappointing teams or get hurt and miss 20, 25 games, whatever it is that takes them out of contention, because they're just so good in every possible metric you can think of that it's going to be hard for him to catch them, even if the Celtics are at the top of the league like they were last year. And Perk, last thing, thank you for defining selfish. Usually your words are so sophisticated, Perk. That was the simplest one we've ever had. I don't think
it was
you
also in
even
English.
defined selfish for us.
We have all different languages.
But let me elaborate a little bit more for the people out there, because I don't want them to think that I'm calling Jayson Tatum selfish. But look, everyone that's on this panel right now, we're all successful. And we're successful because we wasn't just friendly throughout this journey. We had to be selfish at some point to get to the top, right? To worry about ourselves and make sure that we do the necessary things we need to do to reach goals in our life. It's the same thing with basketball. Individual guys, it's a team sport, but individuals at some point, you got to have a little selfishness to go out there and get what you think is yours. Giannis did it. Giannis said he wanted to be the MVP. Damn it, he won it.